Yeah, good evening, everyone. So, last session we learned about forms, working with form elements, all types of elements. So, in the HTML form concepts, we discussed about buttons. That is the last topic we learned. So, all elements that are required to design a form, we have seen. But as we already know, HTML is just presenting element to make it interactive, effective in appearance. We need some CSS, bootstrap and all. So today what we are going to learn is we are going to learn about CSS form classes. We are going to see, because we are learning forms, better while learning forms itself, you learn about these classes. Actually, we learn that in CSS. But when you finish designing a form, then we need to know how to use these form classes. Actual, what are these CSS form classes is? In CSS, they provided some ready-made classes. Actually, what is a class and how it works, I will show you. So in general, the concept is usually in computer programming, we have a class and class have some name. Under this name, some values and some functions are written. Some values and functions are written. So they are already written. So now you are designing one element. You want this element to have those functions. That means the values of that particular class, the functions of that particular class, we want them. Then what you can do is, without writing them again, they are already present in a class. You can just implement that class name here. So this colon symbol indicates inheritance. That means it inherits this particular class. It is going to inherit this class. When it inherits the class, it will use all its features. So without writing them again, without writing any features, already features are written, you have to just attach them. And you can customize according to your requirement. That is actual concept of class. So what is a class? You saw this concept. What you understood by class? What is a class? It is a template. Template means a template contains some logic and functionality already designed. We can take that and we can modify according to our requirements so that it will save a lot of time. For example, you need to prepare a resume. Which software will you use? Which software will you use to design a resume? You will use software like MS Word. MS Word is the best documenting tool. Do you know in MS Word, ready-made resume templates are present. If you want to prepare a resume, you don't need to design everything manually. ready-made templates are there. You just choose them and you can modify according to your requirements. That is what class is. Class provides a ready-made design and functionality which you can implement and use. Earlier, to do that, we have to write lot of logic. But now already logic is written, we have to just implement. So generally, class is a program template. It provides it provides a set of values and functions which you can implement and customize according to requirements. So it is a predefined business logic. It is a uh, predefined logic. It is a predefined logic. So it enables easy reusability and extensibility. Easy reusability and extensibility. Reusability and extensibility. So CSS provides some classes specially for forms. CSS have a lot of classes. For forms, some important classes are there. Today we are not learning all CSS classes. We are learning CSS classes required for forms. For forms, what are the classes? So let's see. Important classes we have element state classes. We have element state classes. What are the element state classes? We have class like focus. We have like uh, enable, read only, read only. We have disabled. We have checked. So focus, read only, disabled, checked. These are the classes related to reusability. So read only, disabled, checked, these are element state related classes. What is meant by focus? Focus is nothing but when you click inside the element to type something inside it, then it will get focus. Read only, disabled, already we learned two attributes are there. Checked is for radios and checkboxes. So see how they work. So here we are designing a simple form. In this form, you don't need all this. Yeah. So just let me add here a list data term. So we kept that as user name. So data definition input type is text. Okay. So ID is username. ID for unique reference I given it. Okay, let's run this. Now this username have some limit, some restrictions are there. That means some like username must be in uppercase letter only. Then how you tell to the user? We can tell that to the user by using a placeholder. That means name in block letters only. Name in block letters. That's how we can tell. But when placeholder will display when there is no value inside. Once I click and type anything inside, the placeholder will not be there. Now I am not still sure about the limit restriction because placeholder will be there only when there is no value. Once there is value, we can't see the placeholder. Then how do we show the message? So, or actually, if already some value is present, and they want to change the value, then in that case, when they delete the value, placeholder will come. But if they want to continue something, then they are not sure about the limit. Then what you can do is here, we can simply put a div below. So username is text box and the div is adjacent to the text box, adjacent. How to access adjacent elements? Already we learned how to access adjacent elements. We use plus. Plus symbol is for accessing adjacent element. Suppose, what is the text box? How to access this text box? We will use a ID. So here ID or you can use class. It doesn't matter. As of now, you try class. Later we will learn IDs and all. Okay. Now here we put a style. What is the class name? Dot user name. Okay. I don't want to apply effect to this username. I want to apply effect to the div adjacent to username. So plus div. That means the div which is adjacent to username display as none. Don't show it. That means now here actually name in block letters. That is the name. So we are saying don't show it. It is not showing. When to show? When I click inside the text box to type something, then it should show. That means the username class gets focus. How we know it got focus? We can apply a class colon focus. Then it will verify whether it is focus or not. That means it logically uses some condition. And if it is focus, then plus div means the div present beside should display block. Display block means where it should come below. We can have display inline. Inline means beside. So we will put display block. Okay. Now it will not display. When I click inside to type something, then it will display. When I click outside, then it will hide. So it will display and it will hide. So that is focus. Not only just displaying, we can put font color. So color as red, font size as some 15 or 14 pixel. And you can see it is going to show. and I click outside, now it is hidden. This is what generally focus is. When any element get focus, you can apply some effect. Remember, I am applying effect to the div beside. You can apply effect to directly this text box. Suppose when I click in the text box, it should get a shadow. It should change its color. So anything you can do. What you can do, if this time I don't want to put effect for div, then we will use dot username when it is focus. This refers to directly text box when it is focus. When it is focus, we will put box shadow. We will put box shadow, some 3 pixel, 3 pixel, some 2 pixel red color shadow. That means when you click here, it will get a red shadow. For text box, we are applying. You can keep anything. Suppose I want border as 1 pixel solid red color border we want. Then we can put a red color border. Actually, that is not only border, that is outline. We will remove outline as none. That means there will be no outline. It will be just red. So red border, red shadow, and you click, it will display normal again. That means we can change the effect of the text box, or we can add some text and display. We can control anything. So this is the concept of a focus. Focus means when element gets focus. When you click inside, then it is focus. The read-only disabled, then their names itself tell what they are. For example, suppose I am having another data term. So user ID and data definition, input type is text and the class is user ID. Value is some David underscore NIT something. And I am keeping it read only. When I keep read only, already what is read only we learned. You will see that both look same. That means ordinary text box also same, read only text box also same. How do you know it is read only? So you click inside and you start typing, then you will know that it is read only. No, it's not like that. What you can do is we can just access that dot user ID. If user ID is colon read only, if it is read only, then what you can do is you can change the cursor. Actually, you can change colors, effects, anything. I'm just changing the cursor as not allowed cursor. Cursor means, lot of mouse pointers are there. If you want to see the mouse pointers, go to control panel. In the control panel, you will see mouse. In the mouse, you can see pointers. These are different pointers we have. These are the symbols and their names. Every pointer is used for a different reason. And you can see lot of pointers are there. In this, actually, this is unavailable. In programming, we call it as not allowed. Not allowed. So what you do is, we want such pointer not allowed. See what happens now. It's normal. But when I move the mouse into this, it looks like text input. You can click and you can type. You can modify it. But when you go here, it shows like this. That means it is not available. That means you are not allowed, so that user can understand, okay, this is not possible. That is visually done. You can change colors, effects, anything. Even for disabled also. For example, not only this, suppose we have a button. This button is login, and but the button is disabled. That means button is disabled. Disabled have a effect like this. I want to show that you can't click. Then what we will use button. If it is disabled, then cursor as what? Not allowed. You can add so many effects like some background color, some gray, so color, some white. Like this, I am changing some effects and all. When I mouse, then it shows not allowed. If disabled is given, if I remove disabled, you see, when I remove this disabled, automatically those effects will be not there. That means class is going to verify the state. Is it matching or not? If it is matching, apply the effect. If it is not matching, ignore. That's what we can do. If you put disabled, then automatically it will be disabled. Actually, I am writing for any specific. You can do one thing. Instead of user ID, simply you write input. That means any input is read only. Then automatically it will show not allowed. Any input means user ID, password, anywhere you mention read only. That means now see, this is read only. Later, suppose if I put username read only. Later I will put username also read only. Then this also will automatically get that. It is also having the same thing. That means now if you remove, then it will be disabled. If you add, it will be enabled. What is the advantage of these classes? These classes will change dynamically according to the situation they are going to implement. So focus, read only, disabled. Checked we cannot use for text boxes and all. You can use for radios and checkbox. For example, let's see here. I'm using, let me copy this, okay? I will copy this example. This is one example. Another example we'll see. Suppose this time I'm having a simple placeholder here. Field set with a legend terms of service. Okay. We have a text area. So rows is 4, calls is 40, lorem. Okay. And below this, I will keep a div. In that we have a input type as checkbox. We have a label I accept. Below that we will put some break and we will put a button. So suppose submit. Okay, now the point is we keep this disabled. Okay. These are all not required. Yeah. Now in this, what should happen is when user selects accept, then only this button should come. That means I don't want this button to display until or unless they select accept. That means now, how do you know the checkbox is checked or not? So for this checkbox, I will put a class terms. Okay. Here I am accessing dot terms. And here, the terms, after the terms, there is a button. But button is not adjacent. Who is adjacent? Label. The element that comes immediately after is adjacent. So plus means adjacent, means it is referring to label, not label. It is button present somewhere after it, not immediately. Then tilde. Tilde indicates somewhere after this. It need not to be immediate. Plus means immediately after. Tilde means somewhere after. And remember, somewhere after, but inside the same scope. That means what is the scope of checkbox and button this div? If this button is outside the div, you can't access. In the same scope, it should be. Then tilde button. What it should be? Its display should be none. Don't show the button. That means button is not there. When to show it? When the terms is checked. That means we have to access dot terms. It is a checkbox. Checkbox have a property dot what? Checked. If checked, then tilde button. That means the button display should be what? Display should be what? Block. That means now when you select this, the display should be block. It will show it. And you don't select it, it will hide. It is going to show and display the button. That is actually checked. You can verify whether it is selected or not. If it is selected, one effect. We can apply even anywhere. Suppose if it is not selected, dot terms plus label means adjacent should be color red color. And if terms checked, then label adjacent, it should be color green. That means if they are not selecting, red color will come. When they select, green color will come. That means we are changing adjacent, we are changing somewhere after. We are adding the effects and we are changing those effects. That we can manage by using checked class. Actually, these all earlier we used to do with JavaScript. Modern HTML and CSS, actually, we are expecting one more modifications into HTML and CSS by the end of this year, 2024. But not sure, it will take time. Already beta work is going on. Means they are trying to release some new version into CSS and HTML. Actually, it doesn't happen for several years. From past 4-5 years, we are using same HTML, no changes. But they are trying one new version. And they are going to, maybe, not sure, but still work is going on. For developers, it is available. So they can check what roadmap is going on. And they have announced that majority of client-side scripting, they will try to manage with CSS and HTML. Earlier, we have to depend on a lot of JavaScript. This all we have to do with JavaScript. Even in some companies, when you go to interview, they say that, I know that CSS have this, but do it in JavaScript and show. Because they want to test your logic skills, whether you know the logic to write like that. Sometimes they know that you learned in JavaScript, they will ask, do it in CSS and show me, because these are some new things in CSS which many people don't know. That means every CSS learned people don't know all this. They just know CSS means some certain attributes. Some classes are newly added, which are very, very important, and they will reduce the use of JavaScript. That's the reason majority of this work is actually done by JavaScript. We are now implementing and handling by using CSS. That is little better. It is lightweight, faster when compared to previous. This is another example. This is related to checked. So these are all element state related classes. The focus, the read only, disabled and all. Just I will give a syntax first here. So you have any element or class, then we say focus. And what are the effects? How we can define the effects. Here, two symbols we are using. Plus is adjacent element. tilde is anywhere within the scope. After the specified. Anywhere within scope after the specified. That's how we define. What is space? Blank space. What is space? Space is child. Child element means inside. For example, I written nav space div. What does it means? Div inside nav. What is nav plus div means? Div after nav. Adjacent to none, not inside. Space means inside. What is nav tilde div means? Div somewhere after nav. Somewhere after the nav. That's how we define. Like, so this is basically one example. These are element state related classes. I will give here nav space div. All divs. So inside nav. Nav plus div. Div adjacent to nav. This is so div after nav at any occurrence. At any occurrence. So that is the nav and div options. Okay, next. These are all element state related classes. Next important, we are having validation state classes. Validation state classes. We have validation state classes required. We have optional. We have in range. Out of range. Valid and invalid. So these are the validation related classes. Required, optional, in range, out of range, valid and invalid. So all are classes only. Remember, CSS people, they haven't given any category. These are all the categories we divided so that we can easily remember. Because hundreds of classes are present, it is difficult for a developer to remember. That is the reason, don't think that these are official categories. They are not official categories. CSS have classes all at one place. We divided so that we can easily understand and remember. Validation means immediately it will strike like required, min, max. These all comes under validation. So these are not official categories. So that is the reason this problem will come regularly. In interviews, Generally, what interviewers will do is they will ask some technical word. That technical word is not professionally official. That word their company people have invented for their internal use. How come everybody knows about it? We don't know. That means he will say, do you know VSC? What is VSC? For example, his idea is validation state classes. How do I know what you invented? Your inventions, we are not aware, right? If it is globally followed, officially designed, then we know it. Your own shortcuts, your own inventions, who knows? And some people in interviews ask such things, what they use in their companies. So, which are built by them. They will ask, do you know this? How do I know what you have done? That's nonsense. They don't ask such things to experienced people because experienced people will laugh at that question, right? When they ask that question, first they will laugh. Are you serious? You are asking me to, you are asking me this question. Fresher, you are very confused, excited. That means you are worried that I don't know answer for this. For experienced people, we can't ask nonsense questions. For freshers, they do all type of entertainment. Like they ask something rubbish, something nonsense, which is not required actually. For experienced people, it cannot happen. So many times you will hear some new invention of category of classes in CSS. Officially, there are no such classes. Means there are no such categories. All classes are only one. These all categories are invented by the people for their convenience. So in one website, you will see one category. In another website, you will not find that category because there is no category at all. They divide it. So why I given the name element state classes? Because they are related to state like enabled, disabled, or read only. These are states. Why I said validation classes? Because these are related to validation attributes like required, optional, and all. These are our own names to remember and understand the classes. It is not an official category, right? Remember that. Now, required optional is nothing but already we know this. Suppose, see, let's create a simple data list, data term, username. Input type is text. Okay. Another is password. So data definition input type is password. And we have mobile. And input type is text. Okay. Now we just put some button, some login. Okay, make sure that you kept all these in a temporarily form. We are not submitting, but we just need them here. Okay. Now in this, password is required. Required. How do you know it is required? Until or unless I submit, I don't know that it is required. Right? Because there is no visual clarity whether it is required or not. How do I know? Until or unless I click the button, I don't know which one is required. There is no difference. Then what we will do? Simple. For every field, because remember, sometimes we use dynamic form. That means form is not standard. Form is changing according to situation. For example, I said that I want to register some account and I am an NRI. That means I am not a resident of India. I select that checkbox, then different form will come. The same form will not be there. Different form will come. You need to enter some more extra details, your visa, passport, all such information. Suppose you removed it, saying that I am not NRI, then it will show different. That means the forms change dynamically. Some fields are added, some are removed. You said upload one document. Okay. But you uploaded a document, then it will ask upload another supporting document to this. Actually, previously one upload was there, but according to my selection, 2-3 uploads more came. That means it is changing automatically, dynamically. In that case, what we do is for every element span, beside it, I will put a asterisk. For every element, I will put an asterisk. Beside that span, I will keep an asterisk. Why span? Because I want just beside it in line. And for all of them, it is showing it. Now I want this to be shown only for, I want this to be displayed only for the elements that are required. Then what we do, wherever input is required is a class. Then the span beside display should be inline. If I say block, it will come below inline, and color should be red. That means now wherever input is optional, that means not required, then the span display should be none. Don't show it. That means now it is not showing that star mark for all of them. It will display only for that field. Suppose I am adding required to mobile also required, then automatically the span will come for that. I remove required for password, then automatically it will remove for it. So dynamically when we are changing the validation, automatically the effects will work. That means I given required here, then automatically the required will come for that. So required optional. Remember, I am applying effects only for span. We can apply for text box. If it is required, text box should be red color. You can apply for text box also. How you will apply? That means wherever input is required, then directly border 1 pixel solid, which color? Red. Outline, keep it none. Outline have a black outline, right? So now it is red. We can simply do that. Suppose if I remove required for this field, then automatically color will change, its effect will change. That is showing some content, highlighting some content that we can do by using this required and optional. Required and optional. Similarly, we have valid and invalid. What is valid and invalid? What is the concept of valid and invalid? Suppose you see for this is okay. I will not use any required. You can give required or anything. Here, I will keep this as mobile. Okay, mobile have a pattern. You know, mobile have a pattern. What is the pattern? /+91 /D 10-digit number. I'm just writing some pattern. And below that, we will display a div. Below that, we will put a div, say invalid mobile. Invalid mobile. So for this, I will give a class as mobile. We will separately use it. Then in the style, I am writing here dot mobile tilde div. Display should be none. Display should be none. Don't display it. When to display? When it is invalid. Then what we do? Invalid means any validation is invalid. That means required is invalid, min length is invalid, pattern is invalid, min max is invalid. Any invalid happened, then display. Then mobile colon what it is invalid. If mobile is invalid, then tilde div display should be block and color should be red. Font size should be some 14 pixel. Like this we are giving. Now see what happens. There is nothing. You click inside the mobile and you type something here. Then automatically that invalid mobile will come. 987654321 still invalid. Why? It should start with +91. Now it is hidden. If anything you entered wrong, then it will show the message. We already saw that the point I told you, can we put our own messages? We can put our own messages. We can display our own messages. But here we have a lot of problems. If one element is having several validations, CSS cannot recognize which validation issue is there. Suppose we have required, we have min length, we have pattern. 3 validations we given. For all of them, it will return invalid. Then JavaScript will teach you how to verify which one is invalid. Is pattern invalid? Is required invalid, like that. As of now, for all of them, message is same. Suppose you can write even for required. Suppose for username, we are giving required. Okay. When we are giving required for username, what happens now is below that username, we will keep that div. Okay, what is the class? Class is what? Username. Okay, username is the class, and here username required. That's what we are giving. Now I will access dot username. If username is invalid this time, invalid, so then what should happen? The div should display as block, color as red, font size as 14 pixel, like that. Actually, we don't need to write valid. If it is not invalid means it is valid. That means what we do? Username dot, you don't need to write valid. Actually, we can write, but default it is valid. So if it is not invalid, valid. If it is valid, then what should happen? Div display should be none. We should hide it. Don't display that. Now see, the interesting part here is this invalid valid is verifying required now. Previously it was verifying pattern. In mobile it was verifying pattern. Now it is verifying required. That means now here username required. You click inside and start typing. Now it is hidden. And I remove that, then it is required. Now when we are typing something, obviously the color also should change. That means now again what? Username is what? If it is valid, what should happen? Then border should be 1 pixel solid green color border we will give. Outline we will keep it to as what? None. Green border we are giving if it is valid. And suppose if it is valid, username colon valid, then the asterisk mark, that means plus span, should display as what? None. That means now you see here what we are doing is, it says username is required. You click inside and type username, all hidden. The star mark is hidden, red mark is gone, and this. You have to write so many. And now remove this, then automatically it will show all of them. The star mark will come, the name will come, the color will be there. You have to write so many. One for span, one for text box, one for field name. Right? You need to define so many. That means I written so many here. One for div, another for text box, another for span. If they are valid, what should happen? If they are invalid, what should happen? Here we can have in range, out range, that is for numbers. For example, we have a data term age. We have input type is what? Number. And usually numbers will have min and max. Min is 15, so max is 30. And we will put a div beside it. Class I will give as age. We'll keep a div beside it. Age 15 to 30 only. That's the message. Now, how do you verify is it between the minimum and maximum? Then what you do? Dot age colon in range. If it is in range, then what should happen? The adjacent div, because div is adjacent, display should be none. Don't show it. If the age out of range, then the div display should be block, color should be red, font size should be 14 pixel like this. Now it is going to apply in this. Now when I'm typing something, it will say age 15 to 30 only. Some 16, that's fine. And another value, then it is 30 on. It will type and it will display. This is actually the concept of valid. These are very important for dealing with the validations. Validation related classes are these: required, optional, in range, out range, valid, and invalid. Right? Syntactically, we write like this. We have an input. If input is invalid, then some border as 1 pixel solid red like this. If input is valid, then we have some border like 1 pixel solid and green like this. Just roughly I am giving the class. We are directly applying for the input, or we can apply for the adjacent div spans any element beside them. So these are actually form related classes. One example I will upload here. Let me copy this example. This is the example for that. That's the example for validation classes. So later in JavaScript, it will be more different. More logic will come, but this is with CSS. So CSS have lot of classes. You haven't learned all classes. You have learned only the classes which are related to forms. So other classes later in CSS you will learn about them. Now, this is also not enough. This is validation as element state related behavior, but still these are not enough to make a form good in appearance. Then usually what we do is we use another important, that is bootstrap classes, bootstrap form classes, bootstrap form classes. This is another one. Once you know these bootstrap form classes, then you can make it more better. Bootstrap form classes. Actually, so what is this bootstrap, and what is the concept of bootstrap? Previously you used bootstrap icons, right? But bootstrap is actually bootstrap is an open source and cross platform. So component framework to build interactive UI rapidly. To build interactive UI rapidly. Bootstrap is an open source cross-platform component framework to build interactive UI rapidly. Actually, framework, what is meant by open source? Open source, generally fresher have a confusion because many people think that open source means free to use. That is not open source means. Open source means not free to use. That's not that. Open source means you can customize according to your requirements. That is open source means. It's not about free or paid. That is license, not open source. Licensed free, that means you don't need to pay. So open source is not about payment. For example, currently I am using Notepad. Notepad is not open source. It's not open source. Why? Because can I delete that view menu? Can I delete this view menu that I have? Can I change this option in menu? You cannot do that. If you can do, that is open source. That means several softwares are given to you, which you use as it is. How they given, in the same way you can use. You can't do any modifications. That is the point about open source. That means an open source software allows you to modify according to your requirement. For example, we have a Windows logo. Can I change this logo and put my photo here? Not possible. But some softwares will give that chance. They say that you remove my logo and put your logo. That is open source. That is Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is an open source. Means they will provide you some logic. If you don't like, you want more, then you modify according to your requirements. That is. Cross-platform means it runs on every device, every operating system. Windows to Linux. So Mac, everywhere it will work. Any device, it can work. That is cross-platform. So open source allows to customize according to requirements. Cross-platform allows to run on all environments. So run on all browsers and devices. So component is a combination of markup styles and logic. Is a combination of markup styles and logic. Component is a combination of markup styles and logic. And framework is a set of libraries. A library is a set of values and functions. That is the combination actually. So later you will have a more clarity on libraries and frameworks, right? Initially, what is the concept of Bootstrap? It is an open source cross-platform component library and or a component framework for building interactive UI rapidly, fast. That means in software development, one of the main concern is speed. In software development, nobody cares about how much hard work you have done. They just care about the final output. We don't care how much hard work you do. Software development is not talent show. It is pure business. They throw you money because the work given to you. That means you cannot say that I am working very hard. They will say that we are paying you for that. They don't care, right? Software companies are not about talent shows. They are pure business. They will use you and throw you, right? They don't care about you. That means even you have worked for a company for 20 years. 20 years you worked for one company. Next year they don't have a project. They will simply kick you out. They will not give you a send-off party also. No send-off party. They will not even ask you to come to office. They will say that send your laptop through courier. Don't come. 20 years you worked for them. They don't care. What you have done social work to them. They paid you now for that. So business that they don't care. That's the reason we should not waste our time in dedicating our life to software companies. Don't do that. Many times when freshers we ask in interviews like how you will be helpful for our company. They will say, I will dedicate myself to the company. I will die for the company. You are ready to die, they are ready to kill. Right? You are ready to die, they are ready to kill you. Right? They don't care. You cannot say that I worked 5 days hard for this and finally I got it. They don't care. That is your job. You have to do it. Why you worked hard? Do it in a simple way. Right? That is the reason these all libraries' main aim is to save developers' time. You see, lot of such third parties are there. It's not only Bootstrap. So, like Bootstrap, we have various libraries and frameworks. We have Tailwind and Twitter Bootstrap. We have like Telerik. We have like MUI. So we have like Angular Material. So many such are there. So many are there. I just given only few. And it's not necessary that everybody have to use only Bootstrap. Majority people use Bootstrap. Majority of people use Bootstrap. Others usually depending on others. So you can see, for example, let's see them actually. Okay, let's see the website like Get Bootstrap. See what these people tell. Build fast, responsive sites with Bootstrap. Build fast. That is the first word you can see. Okay, let's go to Tailwind CSS. Tailwind CSS. See what slogan? Rapidly build modern websites. Rapidly build modern websites. Why everybody is concerned about speed? That means speed is not about application is running at high speed, about building it speed. Why everybody is concerned about building speed? Because client says by tomorrow you have to design this and give to me. You have to do it. And you cannot waste your time in designing everything. It is already designed. For example, you have a eyewear company. You went to an eyewear company, means you went to a eyewear showroom and you say, for my vision, I want this much lens. Then will they manufacture a lens for you? Will they manufacture a lens for you? No, already lenses are manufactured with different points. And which one is matching your point, they will pick up and fit it. Now, will they bring the raw material now and make a glass for you? They will burn the raw material, make a glass for you. No, that is time waste. Why you are doing it? Already ready-made is there, bring it and fit it. That is what software development also. In software development, you see, suppose you are watching Amazon. Do you know in Amazon, so this is, I will show you. This is one component. Its name is input group. Input group is that component name. Do you know this component is carousel? Carousel is a sliding banner. And do you know this, when you click, some pop-up will come, that is called off canvas. That means when I click on it, it will pop up like this. That is called off canvas. And remember, to design like this, it will take a lot of time. So will you sit and start writing code for this? Time waste. Already we have designed and we have provided the code. Just copy and customize according to the requirement. You have to modify according to your requirements. Don't waste time, because the skills testing is done only in interview, not in work. While interviewing, we will test your skill, whether you can do it or not. At that time, we will say that design everything manually and show me, because we want to understand your skill level. Once you are good with that, once you go into the company, don't follow that mechanism anymore. Then use the shortest way to complete the task. That is important. For that, do you know companies will purchase such components? Actually, this is component. Component means what? A component contains, have you seen? Component contains markup, it contains styles, and it contains a logic. This is a carousel component, and it have presentation, it have some styles, and it have some logic also. Some functionality is working. These are all components. So not only Bootstrap, like Bootstrap, we have Tailwind, we have MUI. MUI is a library. You can see move faster. And MUI is used by people like Netflix, Amazon, Spotify. That means these websites are designed by using MUI. They are not using only Bootstrap. They are using that MUI. So what we have to do now, we have to learn such third parties. And one of the best third party is what? Bootstrap. Bootstrap. So what is the meaning of open source cross-platform component library? That is what I explained here, right? Now, how to get this Bootstrap? Actually, Bootstrap latest version is 5. Bootstrap latest version is 5. So it provides icons and a component library. It provides icons and component library. Earlier, old versions Bootstrap, we don't have icons. We have to depend on icons with others. There is another one like Font Awesome. People use Font Awesome like this is Font Awesome. Font Awesome is nothing but it is same like Bootstrap, but it is you see it is same like Bootstrap. It also provides icons. You can see Font Awesome will provide so many icons. Same like Bootstrap, but some are paid. They are not free. That means they provide free, some free. Others you have to buy them. You see, this is the plan. You have to purchase. When you purchase, they give you more icons, more features, more functionalities. Bootstrap is also having both free and paid. So companies will purchase if they are not satisfied with what already it is having. We buy and use them, libraries. So currently, to get that Bootstrap library, what you have to do is install Bootstrap for your project. Already you installed Bootstrap icons, huh? So that's the reason you have to just use npm install Bootstrap. Actually, previously Bootstrap icons also you done. Save. Both you can install in one line. Already Bootstrap icons we installed. Now this time you can just run Bootstrap and save. This is not required if you have already installed. Now Bootstrap icons are only icons. Now Bootstrap will provide lot of classes for creating good user interface easily, fast. You can see now in our project, we will set up the Bootstrap. We have to run that npm install Bootstrap and Bootstrap icons and save. Bootstrap icons and save. Okay, once Bootstrap is set up, where icons are present, we know. But Bootstrap related all components. That means it provides lot of components like nav bars, carousel, so many. All are kept in one file. You have to link the file. Link the Bootstrap files to your page. And what are the two files you need in head section? Link relation is what? Style sheet. One file you know already. It is node modules. In node modules, Bootstrap icons, font, Bootstrap icons.css. That is one library. What is another library is you need another one, link style sheet. Href is node modules. In that Bootstrap dist CSS bootstrap.css. These two files you have to link. Link Bootstrap. Right. So these are the Bootstrap files. And you can see that when you link this file, automatically some effects will be working for you. By default, some working for you. How do you know which version of Bootstrap you are using? Any library that you installed in a project, its details you can get it from package JSON. When you go to package JSON, there it will show which version Bootstrap it is. Because Bootstrap previous version is 4. We have a 4 version of Bootstrap. And 5 is completely different. It has so many new things, so many changes it made. That is the reason several companies, several projects, mostly like people like .NET, Java, like projects, they are still using Bootstrap 3 and 4 versions, even today in several companies. Then 5 version has several changes. That means options, way class names have changed, some options newly added. So we have to know this latest version because all will migrate to this version now. And what is there in old version also, I will explain difference. In old version, how to write. In new version, how do you use? Because the same version that you learned, you may not use in every location. So you should know the other also. So what you do here is, I am adding some page. And here we have some page like this is some form demo .css .html. Okay. In this, we are adding some content. Okay. Here, I'm adding a simple term. Suppose bootstrap. Okay. Data list, data term. So this is like components. Data definition, we have carousel. So we have like nav bar. Suppose I am adding something like this, alerts, something. Observe carefully now, currently it looks normal. There is nothing special. But let's add bootstrap files, link relation, style sheet, href, it is // node modules, icons, font icons.css. You will not see any change because they are related to icons. Icons, you know how to keep the icons. Suppose, how do we keep the icons? I will put an icon like class bi, some person, something like this. I am giving some icon like that. That is fine. It is working. But when I link another file, so another file is link relation is equal to style sheet href, node modules, bootstrap, dist css, bootstrap.css. .css, that is the file. When you link it, automatically you will see that some changes happen. What changes you observed? Font style changed, alignment changed, and have you observed the data terms became automatically bold? Have you seen data terms automatically became bold? Definition is normal. We haven't applied any effect, but how they are working, because already some effects are built in. Those effects are coming from this file and they are applied to your content. If you want, you can do a lot of changes now. That means what this CSS file provides, it is going to provide a lot of classes. By using those classes, we can apply a lot of effects. And without writing much logic, we can apply the effects in a simple way. So that means what this will do is bootstrap.css, bootstrap CSS file provides predefined classes. predefined classes. It provides predefined classes for various CSS effects. It provides classes for various CSS effects. For example, suppose few important classes I will tell you here. First important, we are having margin classes. Margin related classes, we are having .m and size. All directions size 1 to 4 we can apply. So .mt, this is top margin. .mb, this is bottom margin. So .my, that is top and bottom margin, top and bottom. .ms, this is left margin. S means start equal to left margin. ME is end means right margin. MX is so left and right margin. These are ready-made classes. We can just apply these classes. Similarly, padding classes also same. P and size. PT and size. We have PB and size. We have P Y and size. P S and size. Padding size. We have PE and size and PX and size. Like this we have different. That is padding left, padding right, padding top, padding bottom, different options we are having. These are padding related classes. So margin padding related classes. For example, here I will show you this option. We have border related classes. We have border and we have border size. Size 1 to 4 size you can define. We have border contextual. Contextual means color. Primary, secondary, danger, warning, success, info, dark, light. Like this we have colors. That is actually contextual. These are important. For example, I will show you how they can make simple and fast in applying the effects here. So ready-made classes and how to apply these classes, you know, classes are applied by using class word we have to use. So let's see here, suppose we are having here we are having a paragraph. Okay, a paragraph is present. We have some paragraph here. It looks like this. And for this paragraph, what I am doing is, see, just simply inside the paragraph, you put a class border. And you will see that automatically there is a light border. Very thin border. Okay, let's put another class. Multiple classes are separated with space. Space, one more class, border 3. border size will increase a little bit. We will put border, another class, border primary. The color will be like this. Border danger. The color will be like this. Border warning. So the color will be like this. Now important here, just P4, padding 4, all directions padding 4. That's simple. That means I want only PX4. That means only left right padding will be there. PY4. That means top bottom padding will be there. Only one direction. PE4. Right side padding will be there. PS4. Left side. Maximum you can give 4. If you want more than that, then you manually write. If you are satisfied with what they given, implement. Not satisfied, write yourself. So majority what they give, they are enough, then apply. So that's the padding. And we see here padding X4. Okay, save it. So that means left, right. And empty, margin top 3, little bit down. So margin 3, that means all directions 3. We can give any direction or we can give any specific one. Now, without writing much CSS, you are applying, just you have to know the class and just put the class. Already effects are ready. This is not the specialty of Bootstrap. This is only the one concept of Bootstrap. Bootstrap is more special in different ways. That means this is not the specialty of Bootstrap you are watching. This is after all basic of Bootstrap. Specialty of Bootstrap is its components, like nav bars, like animations it can create, which you will learn. Right now, we are going to learn all the classes which are required for designing a good form. Then we can create exactly like real-time forms. Real-time websites, how they show the forms we can design. With the help of Bootstrap, we'll do. That we'll see tomorrow. In tomorrow's session, we will learn all the Bootstrap related important classes required for designing forms. Okay, right.